که یوسف را برادرها به چاه انداختند، از همان روزی که با شلاق و خون دیوار چین را ساختند. آدمیت مرده بود، گرچه آدم زنده بود. صحبت از پشمردن یک برگ نیست، جنگل را بیابان می کنند. دست خون آلوده را در پیش چشم خلق پنهان می کنند. هیچ حیوانی به حیوانی نمی دارد روا، آنچه را این نامردمان با جان انسان می کنند.
Hello, dear powerful women in Afghanistan. Before they tried to silence our voices, we were already singing. Before they tried to block our path, we were already walking, hand in hand, heart to heart, determined to rise. Today, we speak not just for ourselves, but for every girl who dreams behind closed doors. For every woman who has been told no and still dare to say yes to her future. This is our truth, our strength, and our unstoppable hope. In Afghanistan, it has for 3 years been illegal for women and girls to pursue their education. Our lives are very restricted, but like all women across the world, we have hopes and dreams. We have goals and ambitions. We have a strength and wisdom. We have each other. We at Chiles Tomorrow, we are a group of Afghan women supporting each other in the pursuit of education. We tell every opportunities that we can share. We tell each other about ways to complete a high school education online so we qualify for scholarships in other countries. We tell each other about opportunities for studying abroad. We mentor each other in English and how to write personal essays for scholarship opportunities. We support each other and most of all, we empower each other. We work toward a better future for our country. We raise our voices together. Together, we will end gender apartheid in Afghanistan. Together, we women will lead tomorrow, and I hope that world will help us. Thank you.
I'm a girl from Afghanistan. One day, at the school of Sayyid al-Shuhada, a bomb changed everything. We were the target, girls with bows in our hands and dreams in our hearts. My sisters were killed, but I did not give up. I stood up, wept my tears, and said, our path must not end. But then darkness came again. The Taliban returned and closed our schools. They shut the doors of the universities. They locked our freedom. Still, I did not stop. I found other ways. I keep learning in secret with hope in my heart, and I'm still moving forward. I want to break this injustice, to remove this unfair life, not only for me, but for all girls of Afghanistan, and for a world that must hear our voice.
On May 8, 2021, I lived through one of the darkest days of my life. I was here, standing among my classmates at Sayyid al-Shuhada School in Kabul, Barchi. All of us filled with dreams, laughter, and hope for the brighter future. But in a single heartbreaking moment, everything changed. 3 explosions ripped through the street just as we were leaving the school. I saw it with all my own eyes, the fear, and the worst of all, the lifeless bodies of my classmates that were innocent, who had done nothing but dream of a better future and a better tomorrow. I still remember Shafika. I still remember Nafisa and another 85 girls. This stone is called Stone of Sayyid Shuhada's girls. Over of this stone is written name of all martyrs on May 8, 2021. I can remember their laughter, their dream that is stolen forever. Shukriya was lost on May 8. We searched for her, but there was no news and no trace. We will continue their ways. Another girl from this Sayyid Shuhada High School will become a doctor or an activist because it was Shukriya's dream, it was Nafisa's dream, and it was dreams of all other girls who was martyred on May 8, 2021 in this school. Our enemies tried to break us, but we are still here, and we will never forget that what happened on May 8. We will prove that May 8 make us more stronger, and we will be the leaders of tomorrow. We will prove for all people of this world that she leads tomorrow.
هشت می 2021 روز شنبه ساعت 4:27 بعد از ظهر، روز فراموش نشدنی و صحنه دلخراش. این خاطره هیچگاه کهنه نشده و هنوز هم جلوی چشمانم زنده است. من و مادرم در خانه بودیم و در حال آماده سازی آشک برای شام بودیم. نمیدانستیم که قرار است یک حادثه وحشتناک اتفاق بیفتد. ناگهان صدای مهیبی شنیدم که مرا شوکه کرد و حتی خانه نیز لرزید. انگار که زلزله شده بود، اما متاسفانه این صدا انفجار مرگبار در مکتب سید شهدا بود. به پشت بام خانه رفتم و دیدم که دود غلیظی از مکتب بلند می شود. از همان لحظه صدای گریه از همه جا به گوش می رسید و جمعیت بزرگی از مردم به سوی مکتب می دویدند. یادم هست بعضی ها لباس کار به تن داشتند، بعضی ها پا برهنه بودند. پیر و جوان همه به دنبال دخترانشان می رفتند. مادرم هم به سوی مکتب می دوید تا خواهرم را پیدا کند و من فقط گریه می کردم و از خدا می خواستم که کاش زمان به عقب برگردد. وقتی مادرم در راه بود صدای انفجار دوم و سوم را هم شنیدم. آن حادثه جان دختران بیگناه زیادی را گرفت و تنها آرزویشان تحصیل بود. آنها چیزی فراتر نمی‌خواستند، اما حتی همان حق کوچک را هم در سرزمینشان نداشتند. آنها رفتند و آسمانی شدند.
It has been 4 years, but I still remember. I remember the blood-soaked scarves scattered on the ground, the torn and shattered books, the lifeless bodies of my classmates, and the dreams that were crushed in a matter of seconds. I remember how, on that quiet evening of May 8th, one by one, the hopes of girls faded into silence. The wind was gentle, but the pain in the ear was unbearable. I can still see the shoes soaked in blood lying torn in every corner. I remember the pens once full of dreams and lessons, now buried in dust and silence. I remember the nightmares that came after, the sleepless nights, the cries of mothers, the screams of people running toward the school, hoping to find their daughters alive. But I also remember something else. I remember how we stood tall despite the pains, how we didn't break even though we were broken. I remember the strength of people holding each other up, refusing to give up. We continued the path of those whose dreams were stolen too soon, and we still carry them with us in our hearts, in our voices, and in every step forward. We will never forget, but we will never stop.
They tried to bury us, but we rose. Who killed them? Be careful. They were human. Be careful. You are human too. Be careful, they were the future. Be careful, your future depends on them too. Dear world, how does it feel to see your child's school explode? How does it feel to send your child with a book and receive only loss and sorrow in return? Our school was a garden of dreams and hopes, full of flowers ready to bloom, full of futures ready to rise. But the enemies of knowledge came, trying to destroy what they could never understand. They spilled blood on our notebooks. They silenced our songs before they were sung. They burned our stories before they were even written. But they forgot we are powerful seeds. We grow even in broken soil. Their dreams are not died. Their courage lives in us. We will carry their dreams forward. We will build the world they were called for. They tried to bury us, but they planted 1,000 voices that would not break. We rise for our rights, for our choices, for our resilience, for our hope, and for the future we refuse to lose.
چند سالی می شود زان روز تاریک و سیاه. چند سالی می شود زان روز تاریک و سیاه. گریه می کردم همان شب من به زیر نور ماه. گفتم ای مادر ببینین طالبان باز آمدند. با 1000 نیرنگ و بازی با 200 راز آمدند. گفت فرزندم صبور باش اینقدر زاری مکن. آنچه از سوی خدا هست زان تو بیزاری مکن. هرچه بر خیر تو باشد آخرش آن می شود. صبر کن فرجامش این میهن گلستان می شود. فکر من درگیر مکتب بود و می کردم دعا. ای خدایا درس و تعلیمم نگیر یاری نما. آرزو کردم همون شب کاش اینها خواب بود. می شدم بیدار و می دیدم همه شاداب بود. صبح زود بیدار گشتم با 1000 امید مگر. بر سر و سیمای خوف‌انگیزشان یارا نگر. در کنار جاده ها و مکتب و دارالعلوم می نوشتند زنده باد طالب آوردند هجوم. گرچه نای درس خواندن هم نبود در آن زمان. صبح آن روز رفته بودم مکتبم در امتحان. آن زمان اندیشم تعلیم و دانش بود و بس. ذهن من آکنده از آشوب و تشویش بود و بس. بعد 1 سال بسته شد درب مکاتب کان زمان. گریه می کردم برای چرخ دوران و فلان. منزوی و ناامید و چشم گریان گشتیم. در جوانی این چنین محزون و بیجان گشتیم. گر بگویم حال این ایام من دایم نباشد باز هم. این جوانی بر نمی گردد گذشت دنیای ما با درد و غم.
Martyrs of Said al-Shuhada High School. May your souls rest in peace, and your memory live forever. The enemies of science and knowledge wanted to destroy us, but they made us stronger than before. On May 8, 2021, a horrific bomb explosion happened in Said al-Shuhada High School. Unfortunately, on the year, 80 students were martyred and 150 students were injured. I was one of those injured students, and I was 80% wounded on the year. From 4:30 p.m. to 10 p.m., I was rushed between 4 different hospitals. And finally, I underwent surgery at Wazir Akbar Khan Hospital, and 2 weeks I remained on there. Also on there, I saw things that I will never be able to forget for the rest of my life. On there, I saw girls whose bodies were torn to pieces. Their white scarves were soaked in blood, and their books were ripped apart. The target of that bomb explosion was only girls, because our enemies afraid the power and potential of educated girls. They know that girls are incredibly strong, especially when it comes to knowledge. Our enemies want to stop us, but we never give up, even by bomb explosion. As long as we have feet, we will walk. As long as we have hands, we will write. And as long as we have voice, we will speak of the blood of those girls, the pain of their mothers, and our right to learn and to live. My message to the world is this: please do not forget the girls whose only crime was learning knowledge and education. My demand to the world is this: please help me, not out of pity, but out of responsibility. Help me to become voice of those innocent girls whose dreams were destroyed too soon. This is our duty. Those of us who survived must follow the dreams and goals of those girls, not with tears, but with action, not with fear, but with a voice strong enough to shatter the walls of silence. I rose from beneath the dust and blood, and until my last breath, I will be a voice for justice.
In memory of the innocent lives lost at Sayyid al-Shuhada School, on this day, we remember the innocent girls who dreamed of learning, growing, and serving their country, but whose dreams were silenced by violence. They were students, daughters, sisters, and symbols of hope. Their pens were their weapons, their books, their shield. But even in the face of darkness, we do not give up. We will raise their voices, we will continue their fight for education. They tried to stop us from learning, but they could not stop us from dreaming. Let their sacrifice be the reason we stand stronger, speak louder, and never surrender.
It's going to be a fine night tonight. La 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 la. It's going to be a fine night tonight. La 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 la. It's a fine day. People open windows, they leave their houses just for a short while. Short while. Short while. Short while.
A girl whose black uniform and white headscarf were all things she had in this cruel world. Her only dreams was making her country and taking her father's job and rough hand that was endured with cement of buildings. A girl who endured the scorching sun of summer and oppressive heat of afternoon with black clothes in Ramadan just for going to school. The schoolyard was filled with girls dressed in black and white. Once a heart-wrenching sound echoed through the air, and then everything went silent. The glass windows of the classroom had shadowed on girls, and the headskirts of the girls who had never shown their hair to anyone outside their family were now burning in public. The pens and notebooks that fathers had painstakingly provided for their daughter were scattered in the air. The girls that we can say who was lucky that survived were running. They ran with the desperate hope that maybe, just maybe, they could escape from this hell, that they might still have a chance to live. Maybe some of them were praying to die rather than seeing this view. Have you ever heard that a girl's heart is more delicate than a flower? Was it true for her to see her friends laying in pools of blood before her eyes? Their white scarf that changed its color to red, and their separate bodies. Tell me, was that even just? Despite all these hardships, we went on with life. Each time we faced devastation, we started again from scratch. And once more, a girl who began to strive for knowledge born. I can say that I swear by every drop of blood shed by the martyrs of knowledge, we will never forget the path they died for. We will never abandon the journey they gave their life to protect. We will never forget them.
4 years ago, on 18th of Saur, 1400 in Solar Hijri calendar, corresponding on 8th of May 2021, everyone was celebrating it with joy and smile, surrounded by their families and friends in a quiet corner of the capital. Life was moving forward with childlike innocence, far from the awareness of what tragedy was about to unfold in Kabul. In the afternoons, with a goodbye kiss to their mothers and loved ones, many girls went off to school, schools that had long been neglected by the government. They were going to pursuit of knowledge, bravely fighting for their rights like a lion trapped among wolves. They would return home with a beautiful smile and warm greeting, welcomed by mothers whose hopeful eyes lit up at the sight of their daughter's dust-covered yet radiant face. But that day, fate played a different game. Those young heroes said goodbye to their mothers with a smile and left forever. Today, no smile remains to light up the faces of those mothers. All that's left is raw and silent grief, gifted by a cruel world that took away their daughters. Those girls left this world without fulfilling their dreams, and nothing remained of them except burned books and school bag. Nothing can fill the emptiness left behind, and tears are the only comfort for these mourning mothers. I'm one of those left behind. I no longer see the bright smile of my dear friend Shaharbanu, who was supposed to study with me at Kabul University and receive a scholarship to France. She taken from me, stolen by tragedy, like many other girls.
رفتم که بخوانم و بسازم وطنم را. رفتم که بخوانم و بسازم وطنم را. خون کرد کتابم و شکستند قلمم را. من درگیر تحصیل و سرمشق و سوادم، غافل که خریدند و بریدند کفنم را. خواستم که بگویم آه مثل آزادی، خواستم که بگویم آه مثل آزادی، تا باز نمودم تو ببستی دهنم را. تا باز نمودم تو ببستی دهنم را. با نام مسلمانی و هر مذهب و راهی، با نام مسلمانی و هر مذهب و راهی، آتش زده بر جانم سوزاند بدنم را. آتش زده بر جانم سوزاند بدنم را.
Every other day, she was walking toward school to learn and build her future. She always spoke of her dreams and goals. She didn't know that those goals would remain only dreams. She didn't know that each step she took brought her closer to death and further from her aspirations. She was martyred simply because she was studying and becoming aware. When a person becomes aware, they begin to protest for their rights and refuse to submit to oppression, extremism, and injustice. Once she became aware, she was no longer just an ordinary girl or woman who would accept every kind of cruelty and injustice. That's why they feared her. Even the sound of her footsteps terrified them. Her determined steps shocked the foundations of those who believed women were intellectually inferior. By becoming a scholar, a doctor, a teacher, an engineer, she was proving them wrong. A woman is not mentally deficient, but rather the most intelligent and powerful being. On May 8, 2021, it was a Saturday. The tragic incident at Sayyid al-Shuhada High School happened. They left 85 martyred.
Forbidden dreams. If only tall buildings had consciousness, they would realize why people gaze at them with longing. Why some ask the doorman politely, "Can I go up just for a moment?" on foot and never return. If only sheep had minds of their own, they would understand what it means when humans look at them like products, that their meat, their skin, their fat have grown valuable, and their end is near. If only sidewalks knew why girls after sunset no longer feel ashamed of their torn shoes, why car horns became background noise to a deeper silence. If only roadside trees could feel, they would know they are no longer beautiful when no one walks beneath their shade on the way to school. If only boys in school uniforms knew how lucky they are. If only students would stop waiting for me to repeat them in the classroom. If only sad seats knew they no longer wake me for the joy of class in the morning. If only bakeries knew I no longer carry warm bread to school. If only nights knew that darkness no longer means to stay up late to study for tomorrow's exam. If only the people of this city understood not to speak the words school or education around me anymore, because every time I hear them, I drown in a dream I can no longer touch. If only little girls didn't believe that growing up is a treat. If only the world knew that somewhere on this earth, a girl lives with nothing except hope and the strength to rebuild her future. A girl who has lost classrooms but not courage, who walks barefoot over broken dreams yet still dares to write new ones. A girl silenced by war yet louder than fear, invisible to many but seen by truth. Not just surviving, becoming. She's not asking for pity, she's asking for space to stand, to speak, to shine. And one day, when the world finally listens, it will learn that forbidden dreams are the ones powerful enough to change everything.
The most painful and heartbreaking tragedy that led to the death and loss of 100 girls. Those who had chosen the path of knowledge and learning. Those who, with countless hopes and dreams, were pressing a better future and striving for progress were, in the blink of an eye, taking to eternity without any crime or reason. It's heartbreaking when you are loved when and accompanied like freshly blossomed flowers, whether before your very eyes, and you can do nothing but watch. As I watched, my heart was bleeding. Fear, anger, anxiety, and stress had stolen my sleep. Those were difficult days when pressure my family from on one side and fear tore outside on the other had drained all my strength. Dark days passed one after another, but the memories and pain of that time will forever remain in my heart, like a deep wound, like an incredible pain. We lost people who might have been the best among us today. But we never stop and never give up. We will continue their way, and I'm 100% sure that we can do everything that we want.
The freedom she seeks to fly. In her eyes, the clouds beneath the sky. On her face, the warm and soft breeze. Through her ears, the sounds of songbirds. On earth, her very existence, the smile upon her lips, the joy and love within her heart, the enthusiasm and inner child she lets be alive and thrive, the hope she wants to keep alive, the freedom she seeks to fly, the despair she wants to bid goodbye.